Brought to you by Marks with Mikes.
Warning, the video that you're getting ready to watch contains very strong language. You have been warned.
Hello, everybody, and we are here live from RSW Battle of Cleveland, and we have with us none other than the one, the only, Teddy Hart.
Hey, what's up there, baby?
And of course, his cat, which is Teddy.
Mr. Velvet. This is Mr. Velvet.
Mr. Belvedere. It's a wonderful pussycat.
Mr. Velvet had his first ever run into the crowd opportunity tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
He actually took a bump, and it was pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Some fan got to hold him. He got a free picture and a shirt tonight. So. Thank you, Mr. Velvet. The first ever kitten was put in the ring tonight on the second rope.
Yes, I've seen
He did
that.
better than Mr. Velvet tonight. He's only 8 weeks old, so that's a record.
Wow.
As a record, I mean, they're already training in the legendary Hart Dungeon there.
The Hart Dungeon not only trains great wrestlers, it trains unbelievable pussy. They can do more than we can. Yeah, they can do more than we can. But I mean, women have been doing more than men for centuries and not getting enough credit. So cats are starting to take that claim that dogs aren't the only one that should get a license to walk around a park. Cats want the opportunity to have their own cat park. And
absolutely. I mean, if your cats are any indication, they should get every rights that dogs get as far as, in parks and whatnot.
my friend writes movie scripts. He's actually writing a movie script about a reverse world where cats have taken over the power of dogs. So lions, tigers, panthers, jaguars, leopards, cheetahs would be like your German Shepherd, Bull Mastiff, like pit bull, big dogs of the house, and all the little cats would walk around, and the dogs would be the ones that are stuck at home. They're not allowed out at all.
You know what, Teddy,
world.
it's funny you brought up cheetahs because I actually just read something recently on Twitter, which if it's on Twitter, it's the truth,
be
right?
truth, of course. Oh yeah, gotta be true.
It's that cheetahs, we all know they're fast. They can be like 70 miles an hour and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I heard that they don't actually have claws, and they're very friendly to humans. They're basically a cat-dog hybrid.
Imagine they have claws though.
Yeah, they have to have claws.
I heard that they don't, and I heard they're very friendly to humans, and you could actually own them as a pet and whatnot.
Cheetahs are really friendly to humans, I heard though. I pet a cheetah before in my life.
Yeah.
At a cat show.
I was just thinking, like,
cheetah there, it was really nice.
how awesome it would be to take a
This
cheetah
guy was
to
an
like
absolute
a dog
pleasure
park.
to work with tonight.
Hey man. OG triple right here. Teddy
White
Hart,
Mike in the
dog.
house.
Mr.
White
OG.
Mike.
Absolute pleasure working him tonight. He has such a big dick, they said he's scared that my pussy went running down the road, fucking sat in the fans' audience. He said he doesn't want nothing to do with that guy.
Mr. Velvet has fucking pristine timing. I don't know if you allow cursing, but fuck, these guys, hey, Teddy Hart, you know Teddy Hart's triple OG triple. I ain't gotta say nothing. I'm out. Just for that, hey, thank y'all.
All right.
I like this guy because he likes black pussy cats.
Hell yeah, dude.
Shout out to Faye Jackson.
Shout out to White Mike.
You say Faye Jackson?
Yes, we did.
we
We
did.
said
We
she's
just
a
said
ho. Oh,
Came back. Nice.
look who's in the building.
Here comes Brian Pillman.
We're here, ladies and gentlemen, but my mouth is dry. I can't speak for long. Let me take a sip of that.
There's a Bud Light line for you, sir.
Oh, thank you,
Actually,
sir.
I think I need a sip of something too.
Oh, absolutely. It's
I'm
a
sorry.
3-1-2 for you. Straight from Chicago. No problem.
Yeah. Mr. Velvet must have picked that one out.
He ran like a dog.
He's a
tonight.
connoisseur. Oh,
Yeah, he ran tonight. Couldn't believe
he
that.
did. He whipped out. He I don't think he was,
No, he wasn't all in there.
he wasn't all into
He said
that.
those guys weren't even serious competitors at
Well,
all.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of White Mike, you guys faced the Gymnasty Boys tonight in the Battle of Cleveland. You didn't come out on top, but I'm going to tell you what, the crowd was fucking very entertained by you guys. in
Yeah,
this
well,
place.
if you ask me, there was a little bit of tomfoolery
I would say
going
so.
on in the ring there.
Yeah.
Somehow I felt my nuts up in my stomach. I don't know what happened, if it was a low blow.
Anytime
or-
that low blow happens, it's devastating.
Absolutely.
You get your
Game
balls
over.
touched in any sport, it's never good. You got that ball in basketball. Last thing in the world Michael Jordan wants is his balls touched.
No.
Yeah.
Brian's the same way. He's an athlete. I heard stories of Brian Pillman's dad playing a little bit horse with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Doing a little bit of
Oh yeah, he beat him.
powerlifting with Bill Kazmaier.
Wow.
What?
And a little
Kaz.
boxing with Mike Tyson.
Fucking world's
And he
strongest
beat 'em
man.
all.
He beat him, huh?
Ended up beating them all. Yeah.
That's a bad man.
Yeah.
It's
Goddamn.
bad man.
Yeah.
That's where the loose
So-
cannon blood comes from.
That's
you
a
know?
real athlete right there.
Comes from
I'll
a
tell you
different
what.
breed.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome, I guess. Bill Kazmaier was in a van with Brian Pillman, and they were riding to a show, and a bunch of the boys thought Bill Kazmaier needed to be initiated into the business. So
Yeah.
the rib was that they were going to blade, and they were going to sell it. So Brian jumped one of the young guys in the back and beat the shit out of him, and blood was squirting everywhere. And Bill Kazmaier was screaming,
my
"Stop the van!
God.
He's fucking killing him! He's killing him!" And Brian's fucking beating the shit out of this guy, and he says, "Bill, shut the fuck up, or I'll pull you outside next." And Bill kind of hesitates. He goes, "Bill, listen, two things are gonna happen. One, I'm gonna kick your ass, and two, you might kick mine. But I still challenge the strongest man in the fucking world to step outside the car. So I win either way, motherfucker." So Bill Kazmaier kind of sat back in his seat and realized there was nothing he could do. And Brian explained to him about 20 minutes later, as the guy was wiping the blood off his head, that it was part of the show and it was a work. And Bill was pretty upset. He was, I guess, trying to pull Brian off this poor guy, and they were killing this guy. And you imagine the blood coming all over this guy, and Bill's never
Absolutely.
seen it.
Yeah.
They're in the middle of nowhere, pulled over on the highway.
Yeah.
And
He didn't realize he was getting worked.
No.
No.
And he's pretty upset after, but
It's a work, brother. It's a work.
Brian got him so good that Bill ended up having to give him a big hug at the end of the night, and said that was the most confused and fucked up he's ever been over absolutely nothing. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Now, speaking of confused and fucked up, how did this opportunity come about? Because you right now, you are Teddy Two Belts, basically.
That's right. Yeah.
And Brian, your name is ringing all across the damn world right now.
That's how it's been pretty much since day one. Since Teddy walked into my fourth match, I think it was,
right here. Look at that
and
necklace.
took me under his wing, and we had a tag match the next night, or the next week. So
I would have to
that's
think
how it all
that
started. It started with Teddy. I think it'll end with Teddy.
Owen and Davey and Brian are up there probably with Owen and Andre the Giant and a bunch of other guys. My grandfather having a nice Sunday dinner, and they decided Brian Pillman Jr.'s got to get into wrestling, and right time, right place.
Yeah.
Yes.
With a little touch from God up above, and
Absolutely.
we're forming the Hart Foundation, Next Generation Hart Foundation. And MLW's been really nice to give us an opportunity and a push.
Yeah.
And
Shout out to MLW.
Yeah,
man.
MLW's done an awesome job. Mr. St. Laurent, Court Bauer, fucking studs.
Good guy.
Pardon my language, but
no.
they went way out of their way to take a chance on me, especially. I'm a bit of a wild card according to wrestling rumors and politics.
So I've heard.
Well, you know, it's Twitter and
But
everything's
I
true.
really think most of it's that misunderstood and worked very hard, and a lot of guys, this is a job for them. They want to take most shows off,
Right.
and they wrestle their one or two big TVs, once a month.
Yeah.
But all the indie shows are shows where they get paid and they sell shirts and merch.
Right,
For me,
right.
it was always an opportunity to showcase 3 generations of wrestling training and a work ethic and a set of balls.
Sure.
That I just thought would be appreciated by real independent fans that are spending hard-earned money to watch a wrestling show here and now.
Absolutely.
Not something that happened on TV in Ring of Honor or in TNA or somewhere else where you went to Japan and stole the show, but every time I saw you do an indie show, you fucking mailed it in and did nothing.
Yeah.
And maybe I got on the boys about that, and it caused me to have a negative reaction, but I never really did anything to me in my mind. Besides, about 12 years ago or 13 years ago, so a backflip off the cage in Ring of Honor. Most of that's all bullshit and hype, and it's better to carry on. The Teddy Hart is a headache and a problem and crazy and wild, but you got to control him for that one show. It's like a wild fucking tiger. You got that guy in your show, and somehow you contained him. Makes you look powerful, but usually I'm pretty civil. Very polite, respectful, loyal to the promotion that spent the money to bring me in, and
Absolutely,
happy
yeah.
to have a tag partner like Brian, working his way up through the new Hart dungeon with me and Harry, and nobody's got a harder job than Brian Pillman Jr. does. He's coming up with, I say, probably 4 or 5 star matches with guys that are complete strangers. He's never worked them before in his life, live on TV.
Yeah.
And he's been wrestling for less than a year and a half.
Right.
So for him to go in there and have great matches and have the fans get behind him, I think Brian's athletic ability and his dad for blessing him with the genetics, but
For sure,
the fans really have got behind Brian because I think his dad touched fans before And it's nice to see a guy come out and instead of dealing with the death, he's dealing with the life.
Yeah.
And making the life of Brian Pillman count.
Exactly.
And now he's coming back with 10 times more power and speed than Brian did himself, because you know what? This is the year 2000, what is it, 19 now?
19.
Yeah.
And it's wrestling's evolved, and the world of wrestling's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And a guy like Brian is just about to bite into the whole world of wrestling. I hope he ends up in WWE someday.
Yeah.
And for now, we got him as our partner. It's a blessing.
Rhymes, I spit him until the entire story's told. Not a prediction, I hit him with a submission hold. Champion, it's not that easy to defend the title. Talking on my back and every move I make is vital. The show it shows the high highs, the lower lows. I'm not surprised cause I know I see both of those. It's WrestleMania season, that's the reason I'm here. I've been working towards the main event my whole career. I ain't going nowhere, let it be loud and clear. Hit you with the curb stomp, finish you off with a spear. I'm like